Thank you. Thank you. I've started doing this new thing where if somebody texts me and I don't want to text them back, I just type back, unsubscribe. And then they're like, what? I'm a person. And then I type back, stop, in all caps. I'm happy to be back in Atlanta. I've been gone for a while. I got back on MARTA after a long time. I noticed something I never noticed before. On every MARTA train, there's a sign. It's on every single one, and it says what not to do on MARTA. Number 1, no food. 2, no drinks. 3, no loud music. Number 4, and this is true, is do not assault MARTA employees. How many MARTA employees were assaulted before somebody was like, dude, I think we gotta put up a sign. I don't think they know that they can't do that. Why not just say, do not assault anybody? Why specify? Like you walk onto a train and people are beating somebody up, and you're like, hey, what is going on here? And the person on the ground is like, please help me, I beg you, help me. And you're like, well, sir, are you a MARTA employee? Then they don't know what to do. They're like, yeah, I guess. And you're like, oh, really? Then what's the second stop on the South Line from right here? Is it Peachtree Corner? It's Little 5. I'm sorry. You guys continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. I miss stand-up. I missed it. I love it. I love it because growing up, I had like confidence issues. You know, I was really overweight as a kid, and I would get bullied a lot. And I remember one time after middle school, this group of jocks came up to me and they said, hey, this kid's so fat and ugly, the only vagina he's ever seen is his mom's when he was being born. Which is mean, right? But I had a good comeback. I was like, hey man, that's not true. I was a C-section. Joke's on you, I haven't even seen one. Then I wiped away a tear and I said, Zain Sharif wins again. I still struggle with my weight. It sucks. I realized I was gaining some weight again because I went to my cousin's wedding and an auntie came up to me. And if you don't know what an auntie is, in my culture, an auntie is just somebody your mom knows. That's it. They met once and now she's in your business all the time. She gave me a compliment. This was her compliment. She told me that I look like a Bollywood movie star who let himself go. I know. I was like, I don't care how true that is, it's mean. And then in the same breath, she told me that she heard a rumor that I am the gay. Which is my favorite thing about rampant homophobia in the Indian community. Not only is it morally wrong, it's also just grammatically incorrect. The gay, the single one, the leader. Which we know is Anderson Cooper. No. I tried to go back to the gym. I really don't have to, though. I can gain as much weight as I want, because I'm a guy. That's true. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I could roll out of bed and go to work. Literally just roll out of bed and go straight to work, and everybody at work is like, this guy's, like, naturally handsome. He, like, doesn't even have to try. If a woman rolls out of bed and goes to work, everybody's like, is Janet dying? I don't know, we should fire her just in case. Nobody even brings up my weight. Even if they did, this is all I have to do as a guy. I just have to slap my belly and go, it's all the beers, and then I get high fives all around. So I went back to the gym, and I started going to the gym every day. I don't actually do anything there, I just go every day. You know, like, I sit on the bike and I text people and tell them that I'm there, you know? At that point, I'm not even moving it. It's not even a bike. It's just an uncomfortable chair. And so I'm trying to work out, and my friend comes up, and my friend says, hey, man, what are you doing? And I was like, working out? And he was like, no, what muscle groups? What? I don't know. I just show up here and I pull and push random objects until I feel some sort of mild discomfort somewhere in my body. And then I go home. And on the way home, I eat a Snickers and pretend it's a protein bar. I thought that's how everybody worked out. And why do muscles have groups? Why? Are there little cliques that muscles hang out in? Like triceps calls chest? Bro, you want to go to the movies? Sure. Should we call glutes? Nah, fuck that guy. He's an ass. He's literally 2 butt cheeks. I was at a party recently, and I was with my best friend, and this Asian girl passed, and he went, she's so fine. But you know me, I've got yellow fever. And I was like, what? And he was like, it's when you're super into Asian girls. And I was like, no, dude, I get that, but yellow fever was a real thing, and people died. So I don't think we can just throw it around, you know? You can't see like a picture of Beyonce and be like, she's so fine. But you know me, I've got Black Plague. That wiped out a third of Europe. Can't do it. Can't make that joke. I just finished college. I'm done. I'm done with it. It's okay. I went to Georgia Tech, so it was mostly tears. But one thing I noticed in all my years is how religious students get right before an exam. It's the best time to get religious. You could walk into, like, let's say an accounting exam, and you'd see students of all religions praying to their respective gods. There's the Christian guy, maybe he's Catholic, praying to the Holy Trinity. There's the Muslim guy right next to him, reciting verses from the Holy Quran out loud. Everyone around him is getting visibly nervous, like you all. The Christian guy kind of scoots his chair over. The Hindu guy's praying, but he's taking a really long time because he has to hit like each and every god, you know? He can't leave anybody out. He has to think about the next life. By the time he's done, the exam's over. And the Jewish guy's praying, but he's going to be okay. It's an accounting exam. Even God is like, Ezekiel, you don't need me here. We're wasting our time. I should clarify that's not because he's Jewish, it's because he studied the most the night before, so check it. I got into a few awkward scenarios at Georgia Tech. One summer, I stayed in a fraternity house, and I was the only brown person there. It was me and a bunch of white people, right? And one day, a black kid moved in across the hall, and I never introduced myself. I never learned his name. I was a shitty neighbor. Then one day, I'm walking outside, and I see another black kid who I don't recognize, and he's got kind of like headphones in, and he's just like looking a little confused, and I was like, can I help you? And he's like, I'm looking for my friend Mark. What I should have said was, does Mark live here? Does Mark live on this floor? What does Mark look like? What I said was, I think I know who you're looking for. And I just confidently walked over, and I knocked on the door, and I waited like this. As I was waiting, I looked at him, I was like, Mark is like you, right? And he was like, what? And then right then the door opened. And the black guy in the room looked at me, he looked at the other black guy, he laughed and shut the door. No, it was amazing. I actually had a similar incident once where I moved into a new place in Atlanta, and I texted my best friend, and I said, come over, new place, right? He didn't respond for like a week. Texted him again, I said, come over, man, I miss you, I wanna hang out. He didn't respond for another week. Then I got kind of mad. I was like, look, I don't care how busy you are. You're my best friend, right? So then I said, what's your problem? He said, shut up, you're gay. I was like, that's weird. It's not, 1998 or whatever. He said, you're gay. And then he said, you're fat. You have a big fat butt. And I was like, dude, we've talked about how I'm sensitive about my butt. Why would you bring that up? But I had a good comeback. I was like, yeah, I do have a big fat butt, but your mom said she loved it when I was fucking her last night. And then he didn't text for 2 more weeks. After all that time, I Facebook messaged him. I said, hey man, just so you know, when I said that stuff about your mom, I was joking. He responded back, forgot to tell you, changed my phone number 6 months ago. I know, it was like an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist. I was like, this has been someone else the whole time? And then right then my phone rang and I answered it. And there was like a middle-aged white lady on the other end and she goes, hello, who is this? And like she called me, so I should have the control in the conversation. But I backed off. I was like, my name is Zain Sharif. I'm 5'10". I go to Georgia Tech. My social security number is 254. I gave her everything. And she goes, well, Zain, do you know you've been texting my 8-year-old son for the past 2 months? I know. This is how I saved it. I said, ma'am, I don't know what text you read, but I assure you I did not have sex with your son's mother. She was like, yeah, dude, I know that. She said, well, if you ever text my son again, I will call the cops. So I don't text him. I do send him a dick pic of the day, though. I do. Because it's not illegal. No, I didn't do that. I did text him saying your mom's a bitch, and he said, LOL, I know. So, all right, thanks a lot, guys. Good night. My name's Zain.